regular crosstalk here. So once this starts going,
so that's when I said to him, "That's not a kindergartner. That's my wife."
he must be Joe Biden.
I'm not laughing at that shit because you ain't getting me canceled.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Let's
We
see
don't need
here.
to hear from the crypt.
Man, I'm already having a fucked up day. So,
Now it's time to just sit back and relax.
man,
Let's just sit back and relax. All
we
right.
shall,
well,
we shall see.
When it's
What
time
happens?
to relax.
All right, gentlemen and ladies, in your
Just I thought it was
in your
just one
private
lady.
in your private chat is the YouTube link if you guys want to share it on your respective social medias, and we'll get going. So if I could ask the guests to go on mute real quick, and I'll bring you guys in one at a time. So here, actually, Cole, come back on.
You want me to get out of the room and come back in the room?
No. I want you to stay. I want my 5 seconds to get the right before I start the music here. All right, perfect. You can go now. You can mute now. All right, here we go.
This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hey, listener. This is Venice, and you're listening to Voice from the Underground, proud members of the Tangent Bound Network and the famous original podcast network. Welcome to the Underground.
Voice from the Underground.
My favorite podcast.
Check out DJ. Check out Big Ass. Check out Gush.
My favorite podcast.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Voice from the Underground.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Via You Podcast.
Welcome to the Underground.
Voice from the Underground.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Voice from the Underground, the podcast. We are a gnarly spirited, super dope, and often mind-numbing juxtaposition of politics and pop culture coming straight from the underground and into your earballs. It is I, Jason Dutch, with Big Hussein and Mickey Feminier, the new producer that we have straight off of Pearl.
The super producer.
Yes,
Cherry Heller.
the super producer. He's we're going to call him Mickey Antifa from now on. What's up, Mickey Antifa?
Mickey and Tifa.
Michelangelo Antifa. What's
Olive Loaf Antifa. Thank you.
Yes, you are
Always good to be here on a good, cool evening.
Big Hussein. How are you, sir? I see you lighting.
Man, I'm in need of some fucking relief today. It's been a tough day. We'll talk about it.
We will talk.
But besides that, I'm blessed because I'm here, I'm living, and all of that good stuff. But man, oh man, it's crazy today. Had a day of firsts.
Oh yeah.
Had a first today.
Well, can we talk about? You want to talk about that now or after we introduce the guests? What do you want?
Let's introduce everybody. Maybe we can come back to it. You know.
All right. Well, we'll do that. Let's introduce our guest skis. First and foremost, he's been on the show before. Welcome back, Cole Sports, Cole Johnson, to the Underground.
Well, there's no need for me to do my hook. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Cole Sports.
Yeah,
There
thank you for that, Cole Sports. Welcome back.
Oh, sports! You look just like Chris Robinson.
He's so excited to be back because he knows he gets to make love and talk about DMX with you tonight.
Yeah, I want to have Craig Robinson checks. But
Right.
How you guys doing?
We're good, brother. We're good. Thanks for coming back onto the show. And a new voice from the Underground first here. I'm going to put up on the other screen here as I introduce our new friend. Once I figure out where the hell I put it. Oh, there it is right there. I'm going to put her podcast logo up here from the Bicurian podcast. We have, I'm going to hope I get this right, Isla in the house. Isla, what's up? How are you?
Yep, you got it. Good to be here.
We're
Thanks
very
for
happy.
having me.
We need
pretty
more
excited.
women in the underground. Let's just,
Well,
Yeah.
obviously.
Daughters. How much for your
Like-
daughters?
She's in the military, so you're gonna have to talk to her about that.
You old enough to have a daughter in the military? Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
see the,
Yeah.
Somebody's
the hit-
been saying their prayers and eating their vitamins and drinking lots of water.
Yeah.
well, the hitting on has begun already, but let's
Oh, get the fuck out of here. I can't see this is the problem with a patriarchal white society. You can't even give people compliments without it being considered flirting and shit.
No, I feel you.
Fucked
I'm
up.
right there. Thank you for the kindness.
So Isla, tell us a little bit about Bicurian. What is, for those who don't know, you guys are fellow members of Big Heads Media with us.
Yeah.
So we both run under the power of the overlord, Mark Phillips.
Yep.
What do you guys got going on over there at Bicurian?
My co-host Eric, who isn't here, but in spirit, of course, and I started doing this a couple of years ago. And we like to say that we teach polarizing topics how to speak nicely to each other or play nicely. We like to take things that a lot like you guys that are a little bit flashpoint and try to look at them underneath the rhetoric, sort of get at like what's happening here beyond the sound bites. And then we also like to have conversations with people around really passionate topics and talk about how you can actually be civil. You don't have to agree with everything someone says to talk to them like they're a human being.
What?
So we
Really?
yeah, I know. It's crazy, right?
I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
you're talking about. What do you mean?
Right. So we've covered everything from, DC versus Marvel to Black history to sex work and anything in between.
Sounds like me and Haas are on board.
Cool.
We
Specifically,
got to get you on with Songbird Wren too sometime.
specifically for the sex work part. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love this because I feel like it's so awesome to be with so many people who are actually trying to bring things together, talk about things in a more reasonable way without giving up their integrity, their authenticity. Like you can stand up and hold someone accountable without demeaning them. And I just feel like we need to do more of that.
It's astonishing that people are interested in having civil conversation. It turns out Twitter not a very good place to have a conversation these days. But
No, I've been practicing though. I've been practicing how to de-escalate and like engage. I'm
you should be a police officer.
Oh no.
No, that's the opposite. Seems.
No.
Can you at least have some of like all of them on your show, and maybe they could learn a couple things? Maybe.
Would be wonderful if we could bring them together or the defund or something. But yeah.
So I'm just curious. Like I don't know you other than listening.
I
to your
don't know
podcast.
you from a
I mean,
can of paint.
I've
but-
listened- I don't know you from Panic Paint, but I have listened to your show, by the way. I've probably heard 4 episodes of your guys' show. So I do know a little bit, but like I'm guessing, but like when you heard the first time you heard defund the police, what was the picture that you got in your head?
Well, I just think the left has the worst marketing ever. But
Agreed,
I'm just
agreed.
gonna say it. Like
We say
when
that
they
all the
come up
time.
with something, it's just like, come on, guys. Like climate change, global warming. I mean, every time I'm like, seriously, you're the academics, and you come up with these phrases no one can relate to. You have to sit down and study it.
Yeah, and that
They
and
want to do a
unfortunately, that's what loses most people. They don't want to sit down
No.
and study beyond the headline or research or anything. They just want everything kind of spoon fed to them as if they were children again.
if they made a superhero movie, they'd probably call it like Down on the Farm.
And they still they don't like what they're spoon fed on top of it.
Yeah,
Larry the Accountant.
Yeah.
I want to watch that.
Yeah.
He can also fly and has eye lasers.
Well, yeah. We forgot Mary the Accountant is, also a mass murdering serial killer. Then maybe you should have put that in the headline. Idiotic Democratic Party. So Bicurian, we'll give out the links and everything to that a little bit later in the show.
On it.
But first and foremost, the first topic that I would like to get started with here today
It's hot.
is well, actually, yeah. You know what, Big Haas? Why don't you tell us what your first? You said you had a first. Tell us about your first.
Yeah, I had a first today.
You had. It was the first time.
All right, so I may have shared on this show before that I've never been bitten, or I'm sorry, I've never been stung by a bee.
Oh, it
Right.
happened.
Was it
So
a killer
just-
hornet?
Here's let me I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it the way comedians say that women tell stories. Let me tell you. Let me set it up for you. So yesterday, was up on the pool deck with the kids and the wife, and we're enjoying the last days of summer and everything. And for some reason, there was a ton of bees around us, right? And and sometimes I feel like I have like little premonitions. Because I was thinking about it like then, I was shooing bees away the whole time I was up there, and I'm just like, man, I'm gonna fuck around and get stung, da 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 da. And so today, sitting on the regular deck off the sunroom, and I'm smoking a cigar, and I'm drinking a Spotted Cow. Give me my money. And my wife comes back from the store with the groceries. So I put the beer down, and I go and I help with the groceries like a good husband should, right?
What a nice fella.
Help with the groceries, put stuff away, blah, blah, blah. Come back, relight the cigar, take a puff, go to take a drink out of the bottle. I feel something fuzzy on my lip. I'm going to take the bottle away, and the bee is like, no, you're going to take this motherfucker, and stings me under my top lip. So if I got a little Dikembe Mutombo today.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
He said, not in my house.
The bee stings me in the lip. So I've never been stung. So I'm like deathly afraid of being stung by bees. Exactly.
So you weren't really stung by a bee. It was more like a kiss.
Get the fuck out of here. Anyway,
You went down on a bee?
I come flying in the house. I'm like, oh fuck, oh shit. It hurts like a bitch. I didn't know how much it hurt.
Yeah.
In the lip. I'm like deathly afraid I'm gonna have this allergic reaction and die. And my wife's like, what's going on? I'm like, I got stung in the mouth by a bee. She's like, oh. So I'm running around, no urgency, no nothing. She's like, the life insurance policy's in now. So guess what? You're worth more dead than alive, probably.
Where's the Benadryl, baby? I have no idea.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
She's I'm just looking for it down the toilet. I don't know.
Mirror, I'm like this. I'm like, do you see a stinger? Do you see a stinger?
No, I don't see a stinger. You're imagining things, honey.
My son Camden's like, no, I don't see a stinger. Da 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 da.
She's pulling up Liberty Mutual on the phone. Make sure the policy's still active.
Yeah. She's like, okay, he's about to go. And so then I spend the next 2 hours like being a hypochondriac about symptoms of allergic reaction. I'm like, okay, I don't feel my tongue thickening up and all this other stuff. So apparently I'm not allergic. And my wife, she said, I wasn't worried because you have 12 lives. I'm like, okay. And then she goes down the list of my antics on the motorcycle and stuff like driving and stuff like that. And the one time I almost died because the car was sliding sideways towards a semi truck, and then the finger of God pushed my car off the highway about 12 feet from this truck. And then the one time I almost died on a school bus at a railroad crossing too. So she might have a point. She wasn't worried.
We got a comment for you that might help. Mikey, you want to grab that for us?
Somebody made a comment already? Okay.
In the live thing? I don't see any comments on this.
Oh, well, I have a comment here. I'll do it there. We have
you read it, Dutch.
Oh, there we go.
Callie. All right, go ahead. You got it. Do your producer job, you fuck.
My bad. I was on the other screen. Callie Gold says meat tenderizer is good to soothe the bee stings. So you could just tenderize your meat up under the meat tenderizer.
Dude, pause, man.
You had about 40 in your bee story. I let him go. I was like, all right, my man's in pain. It still hurts. It still hurts. And like when I drink cold stuff, I can feel it right there in my lip. Pause.
Right there in your lip. Pause.
Yeah. Thank you, Callie, the meat tenderizer thing. Hopefully, I'll never have to use it. Because hopefully hopefully it'll be another 48 years before I get stung again.
So ATM with a B?
Callie's for
real, dude.
In case you ever break up with if I were your boyfriend or husband and we broke up and we got back together, I'd sing out, I'm going back to Callie. See?
We need a popcorn emoji for the corniness of that shit you just said right there.
Right.
Just popped up from the bottom.
Now I'm hearing the Prince song "If I Was Your Girlfriend" in my head.
If I was your girlfriend, right?
I just thought it was fucking clever. So
you know something too? Cali is in Cali just like you're in Cali.
Well, if I were named Callie and I got back with them, I would say
we'll be back in 2 and 2.
Yeah, back in 2 and 2.
Oh.
So for the listener that doesn't, real quick, the listener that doesn't know Cole about your shows, can you give the listener a quick update on what jazz you got going on over there?
Okay, well, I'm actually revamping all 3 shows.
Damn, you got 3 shows out there like Tyler Perry.
Hopefully, I don't hire. Hopefully, I don't hire bad writers for scripts. But
you don't want to be like the Tyler Perry as it was characterized in the Boondocks.
Yeah. So I do a basically self-help and divorce recovery and heartbreak recovery.
Oh man, I needed you like 12 years ago.
Yeah, it's called Get Over Divorce.
Boy.
Yeah, it's based off a book I wrote a few years back, and it just spiraled into a podcast. And so I'm revamping that and tightening those things up. I also do an interview styled podcast called Revelations. It's almost similar style to this show, but it's not quite the same.
I'm sure it's far better.
Probably.
But it is different. And of course, the mothership, the one that started all, the ones that made Haas and Dutch actually know who I was, Cole Sports. And
Cole Sports.
And about, I can't believe in about 5 months, it'll be 5 years.
Whoa.
Wow. Congratulations.
So are we having a big show? Are we doing a big show?
Got a really big show.
I normally do one at the end. I normally do one at the end of January, and normally it's sandwiched between the championship weekend and the Super Bowl of NFL. So when they have their 2 weeks off, I'll normally have my big show that Sunday in between.
You're talking about NCAA championship weekend?
No. NFL.
Oh, NFL. Okay, gotcha.
Conference championships.
Yeah, conference championship and Super Bowl. The Sunday in between them.
Gotcha.
When supposedly there's a wonderful game called the Pro Bowl that people yawn.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, my big anniversary show normally happens on that Sunday.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that bad boy.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So real quick, first and foremost, just a little housekeeping. So Haas and I, well, actually, Haas, why don't you give the TJ news? We've spoke to, so for the listener that doesn't know, TJ Johnson was originally the host of the show. Haas.
So the silver tongue devil himself, TJ, he has a 9-to-5 like everybody else, and he's also has a brand new baby and everything. So he's been super, super busy with work. He works a very demanding schedule as well that he's just not been able to be on. So he's taken a little step back, and our super producer Mikey's going to step into his role. But, TJ will always be one of the original 3. He'll always be loved, and he always has carte blanche to come on the show whenever he gets a chance. We wouldn't be the upgrade to putrid show we are without him. So, we love him and we wish him the best. And we know that we'll be hearing from him now and again, especially as the baby gets older and a little bit more self-sufficient. So, it's not a farewell, but more of a see you real soon.
Absolutely. And Mikey, you got some shoes to fill there, sir. So
trying to tell you, you better start listening to Barry. You gotta start listening to Barry White.
Good luck, Michelangelo.
And the ladies, man. You gotta listen to the ladies, man.
I could never ever dream of replacing the silver-tongued fox himself. I couldn't even dream of it. Not even dream of it. I'm just here to fill dead air because y'all need help.
The voice that stirs macaroni and cheese.
Are you a psychologist also? Because we can use that help as well.
I got friends for that.
So yeah, TJ, anytime I hope personally you come back. Actually, I was listening to, I went back because I want to get a couple TJ sound clips to play along on the soundboard. So I was listening back today. I'm like, damn, that guy is just like, he there's no effort in his trying to host this show. He just does it where I have to struggle through it. So speaking of the soundboard, before we get to, before we get to our first topics, I did add a few new ones here. So I'll just play a few of these new ones first.
Oh Lord!
Whoever can identify the speaker in this, we'll play a little game. Here we go. The first one.
Crack-a-lack-him.
Oh shit! Is
ding
that?
Ding ding ding. There's a point.
That sounds like Chris Rock. Yeah, that was from Madagascar or something.
That is from Madagascar. That is correct. So here we go. This is the easiest one.
Hi, caramba!
Oh, Bart.
Yes, Bart Simpson. And then
Mr. Burns. No, damn it.
My personal favorite, and this is a good one because it shows. Look, we've got a lot of Trump ones. I actually replaced. I'm a really good student at the best schools. I'm like a smart guy. Okay, I replaced that one. I really didn't want to, but I did with.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
What the fuck is that from?
Who is that?
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
That's Uncle Joe right there.
Sleepy Joe himself. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The crypt keeper. The crypt keeper himself.
There was quite a few actually Joe Biden sound clips when I went through them and I was looking at them and I was like, oh my God. Here's another great one that I didn't add, but I could.
You want to check my shape on? Let's do push-ups together.
Oh, let's do push-ups together.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
I vote that one in.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Yeah, I got to vote on that one. Bring in Corn Pop.
Now, I am surprised you did not grab if you're struggling between if you're going to vote for Trump or me, you ain't black. I'm surprised you didn't pull that one.
He got it in a tuck. He keep it in a holster by his ankle.
Yeah.
He still got it.
Long, that's all. That was the only issue with that one. So, but because the wrestling, he was challenged the guy to the wrestling match and all that. I mean, Biden's got so many classic ones that once Trump is a distant memory, we'll be good to go with him. So I look forward.
That's job number one, though, is to make him a memory.
Right.
Anyway,
so let's get to the first topic of the day. We'll share our screen here. Elizabeth Olsen of Scarlet Witch fame from the MCU apparently was, I don't know, attacked on social media. I do have a couple comments I'm going to read from this from the actually our friends over at Jock and Nerd. I went to their page and I got a few comments from them. Thanks again to Tony and Imran for being on the first ever multi-platform large live stream. So apparently what happened was fans were quick to notice that the 31-year-old WandaVision actress had deactivated her Instagram on Saturday, August 29th. As of right now, there's no explanation as to why. However, she had been receiving a lot of criticism from not posting anything after the death of Chadwick Boseman.
Was it not anything, or was it just not anything lengthy?
She didn't post anything at all. Like nothing. She didn't post about her cat. She didn't post about, and she hasn't done a post since April.
Well, then there you go. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Set the scene.
She's been getting lambasted by people on. Now, it wasn't like millions of people. It was probably like 35, 40 negative comments. Like, how could you? What the fuck is wrong with you? How could you not pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman? What are you, racist? You know, that sort of thing.
Jesus Christ.
To me, this is just an example of the way I phrased it on one of my posts earlier was this is SJW gone wrong. I'm going to
not
read
even that. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. That's not even social justice. That has nothing to do. That somebody passed away. The lady obviously is not on social media like that. So why are you on her? Why are you in her shit like that? It's not like she was posting yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's not.
They ignored it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's not like somebody's cat died and she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe Snuffles died. That's terrible." And then he passes and nothing. No, she hasn't been on. Quit tripping.
So I'm going to read real quick, and I want to move to our guest Isla's and get her opinion on this. There's a story from Cosmic Book News where it says Feige's toxic Marvel zombie fan base is at it again. This time they have apparently forced Elizabeth Olsen off social media over the death of Black Panther actor Chadwick Boseman. While it's unclear what happened, which is the key word, apparently she didn't post a comment or response fast enough. So they ganged up on her, bullied her, and harassed her, which they ought to do. Those same types of toxic fans were also quick to worry about the state of Black Panther 2 while the actor had passed away just a few hours earlier. Now, obviously, we talked about that last week as well. Matt Delhauer says, first off, I offer anyone and everyone here not to bother with Cosmic Book. It's essentially built to be the right-wing geek news site. There was a comment from actually I'll read a couple of these other comments in a moment, but Isla, what was your first thought when you looked at this story?
I mean, well, there's a lot of assumptions, honestly. She hasn't released any kind of statement, so you don't actually know why she left. And if she wasn't posting since April, maybe she wasn't really there. But in general, I think it's kind of ridiculous to judge people for how they deal with grief. Like, let's assume that's what happened. You know, some people aren't going to go out there and say a lot. Some people are going to, speak up. And that exactly what we were talking about in the beginning. That's what I'm sort of tired of. Like, let's give people room to be who they are. It's not offensive not to say something right away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of, and then I do feel like the fandoms people get very attached to their idea of how this is supposed to work. And then they try to make that sort of the way of it. And, we have enough religions, I guess. We don't need to turn our entertainment into a religion too.
Facts.
Yeah, Blake Braden, a listener of the show, actually listening to both us and JNN, says, I don't think everything or every tribute has to be in the form of a social media post. To even try to put the idea together because she didn't post a tribute to Boseman, let's assume she hated him, is fucking moronic. Nobody, I repeat, nobody knows what's happening internally with Elizabeth Olsen other than Elizabeth Olsen. Hell, she could have spent the last week in tears, and these assholes wouldn't have a clue. Social media has turned many into this instant gratification of, if I'm pissed, I can't have anybody else happy, or if I'm sad, everyone else has to feel the way that I do. I'd tell them all to shut the fuck up. Cole, what do you think, brother?
Well, it's just par for the course, simply from the standpoint of you have so many people who feel the need to just have diarrhea of the mouth, diarrhea of the thought, diarrhea of the fingers, and they just assume, and they want to be angry, and they get their angst out. And in my estimation, they have issues with their own lives, and they're angry, and they want to take it out on other people. So when they see an in to get at somebody, as in Elizabeth's case, they say, "Oh, well, she hasn't said anything about a co-star in something she's acted in. Okay, well, let's go after her." And I find that to be ridiculous, but it's just, unfortunately, it's just the way of the world and the lay of the land now. You just have people who just seem to want to get their rocks off, and they get their jollies off by letting their angst go. And and the only way it's going to stop is if people just grow up. But you're asking a lot of people for them to do that.
Right. Mikey, before I have you go here, I'm going to read one more comment from Paul Cosmo. If it had been one of her male co-stars, I'm certain there are one or two, this would not have happened. Sexism is like science, gang. Even if you don't believe it, it still exists. And actually, real quick, Fiddlesticks Winterbottom says there are 26.9 million people on Instagram, so getting 40 negative comments really isn't a lot when you put it into perspective. Still, total dick move by those 40 people. What are your thoughts here, Michelangelo Antifa? I mean, is Antifa going after Elizabeth Olsen? You guys going to go burn down?
She's next on our list.
Is she going to burn down the mailbox or what?
So, being on the internet for probably like the last 2 years has taught me a lot about people and a lot about Twitter and Instagram and especially YouTube and stuff like that. People are nasty. And the good thing is you can choose not to participate. A lot of my friends refuse to come on to podcasts because they're like, oh, you're going to put my Twitter link on there? No, I'm good. Well, I don't have to. I was like, nah, they might find me. I don't really want to deal with all the drama. And a lot of people abstain from the discourse altogether because of stuff like this. That's what happens when it's a double-edged sword. We can't have open, free communication the way that we have it and then be upset when it gets nasty. That's what happens when it's unfettered and it's wild. It's nasty. A lot of good stuff can come out of it, but there's a lot of bad stuff that comes with the territory just because it's the internet and people can say whatever they want. Now, she's not a big Instagrammer, given that she's only posted like twice this year. If you're not a big Instagrammer, then you telling me I'm giving up my Instagram, I'm giving up social media. I mean, you weren't really on there in the first place.
Exactly.
I don't think, and I've gotten 40 nasty comments probably in the last week. It's just,
and that's just from your fiance,
right? and she
you
upstairs.
You have Wakanda on your backdrop
there.
Oh,
you like that, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Lou Brock, the Hall of Famer, died today. Yep. How dare you not have a picture of Lou Brock behind you? You fuck.
Oh, you insensitive bastard.
Hey.
I mean, the stolen base king next to Ricky Henderson in baseball. Cole, I mean, what do you think of this guy to not pay any respects to a sports great person like Lou Brock?
He's disgusted. Look at him.
Look at his face.
I don't think he heard
disgusted.
He can't stand y'all.
He's just like, I'm not even gonna. He looks
like his dog. He looks like he has a dog that farted in the room and walked away.
Leave my boy Cole alone. Y'all stop it.
Poor Cole.
Yeah, but that's the thing about being on the internet is you kind of either have to have a thick skin or not be on it because it's not going to be nice to you just because you're a good person. And we've seen 1,000 times over.
It's not going to be nice to you if you are a good person.
It don't matter. And if you've never done anything wrong,
it don't matter. They'll find something. Or
we'll make it up.
Yeah,
we'll make it up anyway, and the internet will go crazy with the rumors because it's more fun to believe something wild than to actually invest in the truth. And that's the crime of the internet. So we all signed up for this. Sorry, homegirl. Either you gotta toughen up or just leave, and she can leave. I have no problem.
She wasn't on that much anyway, so it's like her saying she left it, it being reported because she didn't necessarily say that. It being reported that she deactivated her stuff. She wasn't really on it anyway. You know what I mean? So if you've only read 3 pages of a book and you're like, I'm not reading that book anymore, you weren't really reading it in the first place.
What is your message, Big House, to the people though who are attacking her for this?
Hey, get a life. Plain and simple. Just get a life. Because it wasn't, are you really, Chadwick Boseman died and your method of mourning is to look up anybody who played in a movie with Chadwick Boseman and see if they made a social media post?
Did they get the doll grip guy? I mean,
get the fuck out of here. When he was are you guys ripping on Mariska Hargitay and them? He was in an episode of Law and Order before, and did they make a long post? If they didn't, did you rip on them?
Oh, did Harrison Ford post anything?
Yeah,
I mean, together.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know. Maybe he did.
He may have, but you know something? People are gonna mourn in their own way. You have to give them that leeway to do so. Maybe she's so ripped up, she's not gonna post anything. She doesn't seem like she's a poster anyway. Maybe she's doing something else. Maybe she's calling the family and saying, "What can I do for the family? How can I help? Is there anything you all need? Maybe she's doing that as her method of mourning instead of jumping on the social medias and making a long post that doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, what does that really mean? Because you can make a long post, hit send, and be like, fuck that dude. You know what I mean? So who knows what she's doing behind the scenes? Who knows how she's mourning? She might be curled up in a ball. We don't know.
She could care or not care, but the point is, the matter is it's not.
It's not up to us to regulate how she's going to do what she does.
Precisely, to regulate how someone else is supposed to feel about it. Maybe she knew him very well. Maybe she didn't. Maybe they never filmed the scene together. And she didn't feel,
Maybe she didn't like him that much. You don't know.
Yeah. Maybe they were having an affair and didn't want anyone to know. I mean, who knows, right? So
maybe if she had started tweeting or Instagramming and stuff, some stuff would have came out that's supposed to be private. You never know.
So,
you know
what? Actually, there's funny enough. I had, speaking of social media, I'm going to try to find this while we're having this conversation here. But
you know what?
I actually found it here.
I'm looking right here, and I got to figure out a way to get more lighting because it looks like I'm being interrogated.
Oh, we can get some more lighting.
I got to figure, where we're here. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Where were you on the night of the 13th?
There we go. Oh, so much better. I was waiting for the phone book to come out and
like night and day.
Officer Burge, it wasn't me.
Well, now we can see you when you're not smiling, so that's always good.
See, I knew it was coming. I was trying to talk over him.
Of course, it's gonna come.
Of course, Iceland. We have to deal with this latent racism from Dutch all the time.
Absolutely,
and especially us of the milk chocolate persuasion.
Yes.
This is where he goes all the time. There's
racism,
at least one
Iceland
thinly veiled racist joke
too. So you're gonna get to see the sexism in a minute. It's gonna be a horrible.
You can't tell that you're smiling.
Right. That's what he said. Asshole.
So
I don't know why I deal with this guy.
Speaking of
the last 20-some years
of the internet, hey, the white guy's talking here. Okay, now
see, there we go. See, there you go.
So I'm going to share my a screen I don't normally share, but I'm going to share it here. So the
make sure you're on the right tab, Dutch.
Oh, yeah.
That's dangerous.
I'm on the right tab.
BigBootyBadgers.com.
Right. So we've got so the other day I joined Parler. Okay. So I don't know how much you guys know about Parler, but Parler is basically it's a free speech site, right? It's supposed to be like Twitter/Facebook for basically for conservatives, but they say, oh, we're not partisan, we're not biased. Everything is it's just free speech, right?
Yeah.
And Shamasha is the one who was like, I'm leaving Facebook because they deleted some post he did about Kyle Rittenhouse. This is a great segue to Kyle Rittenhouse. But
we're still talking about that guy.
Well, he was like, hey, yes, well, unfortunately, he was like, hey, I'm going over here. Fuck Facebook. They keep deleting my tweets saying it's false. Well, because it's
fucking false.
Yeah, of course, but it could never be false because they believe their own set of facts. But I just wanted to show you guys this. I went to Parler. I signed up, right?
Yes.
The second I signed up to this nonpartisan neutral site, these are the suggestions that I got. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
I don't know who Bruce Fain is, but Terrence K. Williams, absolute right winger.
Yes.
Avi Yemi, right winger. Tito Ortiz, who is a well-known right winger.
Yeah.
This guy I've never heard of. PragerU.
Now I like PragerU because they be telling the truth sometimes, though.
PragerU is not the worst, but you know, there's worse than PragerU. The Babylon Bee, Daily Mail, who I've heard of them. Oh my God. Ted Cruz and Devin Nunes. I mean, Trish Reagan, Phil Robertson from the duck shooting show.
Dynasty. I stopped watching them after I found out about them fuck ass.
So that's that is the
So if you're
I'm getting from Parler. So if you're
a diehard Trump fan, you got to go over to Parler and just get your free speech on America.
Yeah, but the point is, how is that nonpartisan?
And when they say when they say nonpartisan when they say nonpartisan and in free speech, you know, when you hear free speech, it's like, come over here and get your racism on.
Oh God.
First Amendment.
Have you ever been kicked off of a social media platform for your radical views? Well,
Right.
boy, do I have a
Right.
landing spot for you. It's
Right.
nice and comfy and full of all your friends.
Yes.
It's like,
Are you
it's like
tired
the
of
echo
black on
chamber.
black crime? Do you
Welcome
want
to
to
the
talk
echo
about the
chamber.
problems? You want to talk about the problems with the black community without hearing from the black community?
Do you want Merry?
Oh, no,
want Merry-
hey, they got,
you want Merry
they got
Christmas back on your Starbucks cup?
Stop lying. They have Candace and Terrence Hugh.
Now
Terrence
you know
K.
they ain't part of the community.
So, by the way, did you see Candace Owens said that she turned down an invitation to speak at the RNC? She's
Get
so
the
full
fuck
of
out of
shit.
here, dude.
If she'd been given an
Get the
invitation,
fuck
That's a
outta here.
bold-faced
Yeah.
lie.
And
Yeah.
I turned down a handy from Salma Hayek. Fuck out of here.
on the same day.
Same
That,
day. Salma called me. Hassan, this is Salma. I really want to come over and
No,
I know you're married, but I want to work your
No.
joystick.
no.
of course.
I
why
said
would-
no, I'm married, and I can't
No.
do that. That's what I
No
said.
thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah.
No, you cannot
Candace,
have a
wait.
transcript of the call.
Wait, Candace Owens turning down a chance to speak on a mic.
Right,
Come
right,
on
right.
now.
It's
Right.
never happened. It's
Never.
never happened.
No,
Right.
No,
did not
never.
do that.
All right. So moving forward here,
You're gonna love my nuts.
Kyle Rittenhouse, back to
Paul.
this shit show. So not only is there are some reports now the type of militia that he was a member of actually may be illegal. Everyone's
Okay.
trying to work on angles of how this is self-defense, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But the interesting
It's
thing here
self-defense
is
because he was white in there, but the people he killed were white too, so that goes out the window. You're done, dude.
I love Callie. Actually, thank you mentioned it, saying again, where's the vomit emoji? Of course, that's exactly
That's right,
Yeah.
Callie. Damn it.
that's exactly. You're our new favorite listener. Our only listener apparently right now as well.
Chink.
But
I'm the other three
defense-
on my other devices. I'm the other three.
The defense fund, however, for him is up to almost $1 million fucking dollars.
Of course. Hit the button.
Of course.
Of course. There it is. Thank you,
Jesus
Jane.
Christ.
Thanks,
Isla,
Jake.
Cole. I want to hear from our guests. You guys can go in whatever
It's
order
all
you
of-
want.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, shut up, Haas. Let the lady talk.
Shut up,
Or
Yeah,
Cole.
Cole.
Yeah. Let the lady talk. Go ahead, Cole.
Oh, look at my African American over
Y'all
here.
not gonna disrespect my boy like that. Y'all knock it off.
I
Put
got
some
your lady.
respect on his name.
Ay, caramba.
Dutch started that shit.
You ever been mindfucked before?
You just pushing all the buttons.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Cole-
He's like Homer Simpson for real out there.
All right, Cole, you're up.
That's right. Sorry. Kyle Rittenhour having $1 million going to his defense fund. If that isn't the most American thing you've ever heard in your entire life, I don't know what is. It is amazing to me how people love to fund those who they support, and the fact that he was able to cap people in broad, I won't say daylight, in broad, in the
Street light.
middle of
In
the
broad
street.
street light. In broad street.
Yeah.
Out in the open.
He just cap people in the middle of the street, have police roll by and do absolutely nothing. I mean, that just tells you all you need to know. Because it's almost as if you have to insert the joke. If Mikey, Haas, or I were to do the same thing, will we get the same treatment?
No.
Get that Swiss cheese treatment.
I mean, yeah. and that's the ridiculous part about it all. It's as if there's just two sets of rules, and it is blatant to see. And some okay it, some co-sign it, and they ignore the others who are like, wait, that's not right.
What I love are the people that when you point it out to them, they just go silent and they won't say anything. Because they know this shit is wrong. They know this shit is fucked up, but they can't betray their ideology. So instead of saying anything, they just go silent.
But yeah. But does it surprise me? Not in the least. It would
Nope.
surprise me if there was outrage toward him. The fact that he has $1 million going toward his defense fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most American thing that I could ever think of in this case. So not surprised.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
All right, Isla, what do you think?
Well, and I'm glad you brought this up. I saw that his lawyer had issues in his past with mismanaging money. So yeah, it's just like I wish they'd left him there. You know?
Crooked lawyers.
You're gonna love my nuts.
Next on Captain Obvious.
And I like because of, you know what you're saying. It's not just the silence. Actually, that I feel like it's the gaslighting and the denial, and some of it I know is ignorance. Like I know for myself when Trayvon was shot, and I'd always been pretty involved in social justice. And the Black parents were writing about how they teach their kids. And I had a 15-year-old son at the time. And I was like, I have never thought of having that conversation. That is how far apart we are in this world. And I've seen my son walking with his friends downtown. Like if I didn't know them, I'd be a little nervous. Like they're all scruffy and they wear little, jackets. And you're just like, what's that? Oh, wait, I know them. But at the same time, I'm like, whoa, I had no idea. Because it's just so different. And so I think like I see this and it just reinforces that same ignorance. And it takes the story and it's interesting and upsetting to me. And when you talk to someone about it and you say like, do you understand that like if this person were not white, they'd probably be dead, like high likelihood. And now they get a defense fund, right? It's the same thing that happened with that kid who attacked did with the Native American guy. Like he's done nothing, right? Like that I work for an organization that
Covington
knows
Catholic.
Nathan Phillips, right? Like the Native American elder who was demeaned, right? Yeah, Philip. And so like he's not got anything. He lives in poverty. He works for his community, and this white boy attacks him, and he's got millions of dollars now. It's messed up. That's, and the same thing, this is messed up and that people can't see it. It's perplexing.
I think they just have really dark sunglasses on. I don't know if they can't see it. They just have dark sunglasses on at night and they don't want to.
What are your thoughts on the folks who just can't get over the kneeling, and especially when it comes to like they're obviously interested in armed guards, so to speak. Because of these protests, they want militias out there, quote unquote, protecting businesses that people have nothing to do with. But in addition to that, when they're protesting peacefully, they want to boycott the sport.
Right. No, and that also perplexing. Like we were talking earlier about free speech, right? And I personally have the perspective that free speech isn't about protecting everything anyone wants to say. It's about us, the little guys, being able to speak in the face of the people who have a platform. And it's supposed to be an equalizer, but it's become weaponized, right? Like this idea that when someone wants to kneel to show respect, to show part of their concern about what's happening in our country, suddenly they're vilified. But someone wants to get on and speak hate and attacking and violence, and that's free speech. Like, I think we're missing something here, what our values are supposed to be for.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to show you guys something, because as you guys know, we have very infrequently have conservatives come on this show, right? So and again, pull up my other screen here so you guys can see this in podcast land. I had an experience, and I'll read the message. It was just someone who sent me a Facebook message, who is a friend of mine from high school. And the guy's name is Eric. I won't give his whole name, but he sent me a message the other day, and he said, basically, damn you, I was all ready to vote for Trump until I started reading stuff on your page. So I was like, are you serious? Like, really? I sent this out. I took a screenshot of it, and I sent a tweet out. Just like, hey, you know what? This feels good, because, and he didn't say I'm not going to vote for Trump. All Eric said was, I'm going to research, right? I'm going to look into things, and I'm going to take a look at what's going on. So what I did was I went onto Twitter and I posted the screenshot of it, and I also posted something about Kyle Rittenhouse right after that. And let me tell you, when I don't know if you guys can see all of this here, but
it's very small.
I'll read a couple of these. Basically, all of these right wingers, you see there's a picture of the protests here, Never Trumpers in Action. This guy here, Trump Fan Club. What did you lie to the guy about this time? Another person down here said pretty much the same thing. Hey, Jason. And then they're showing me You Are Here 2020 with the famous meme of the screaming liberal girl, which I do find somehow to be a little bit of a funny meme.
Well, that shit was funny. That shit was
funny. I laugh at that one too.
Yeah.
But what lies are you telling? It's all these people are just basically coming out and saying, "Oh, well, you're lying to people. You should stop." And then a couple people are even saying to me that I'm being blocked and reported to Twitter for reporting fake news. I mean, seriously, right? Okay. This guy says, "What is it you do? Support pedophilia? You're as sick as old Joe. Cool story, bro. But everybody gets clapped. Then Obama bought you. Did Obama buy you lunch? Does anyone care about you?
There you go.
It's just.
Why are we bringing Obama into this?
What did you post? What did you post? Was it MSM lies?
Yeah.
I mean, well, apparently, and this other person said there's no such thing as a former Trump supporter. That anyone who's ever shown to be a former Trump supporter it's fake. It doesn't really happen, et cetera, et cetera. So what I did is I actually invited quite a few of these people. I said, here, you know what? If you want to, and here's one guy right here. I said he was talking shit. He said fake right here. It's fake. He's talking about I was 100% behind Trump and I was tired of being called a racist. This was the actual message. Damn you, I was 100% Trump. See, this is clearly a screenshot of Twitter.
Right.
But all these people are telling me that this is fake. Or I'm sorry, not from Twitter, of Facebook.
Facebook Messenger, yeah.
Yeah, this guy says fake. What's not fake? Trump's hair. And so this guy's talking shit. I said, well, if you want to elaborate on how I'm so lost and your reasons for support, you're invited to join my live stream tonight or any week and give your point of view. I'm a little too stoned at the moment, but maybe something can be okay. You know what? And every single person I invited, there's about 6 of them. Every single person I invited, Cole, take your wild guess. How many of them even replied besides this one guy?
Is he still here?
Oh, Cole. Yeah, Cole's still here. Oh, wait. No, Cole somehow disappeared from the stream.
There he is. There he is. He's still there.
Back. Cole is back to the stream now. So Cole probably didn't hear what I just said. But Mikey, go ahead and what do you think? How many yeses did I get?
I'm just waiting for you to announce that you're leaving social media now because 40 people said something mean to you.
Exactly correct. I'm gonna be a snowflake and leave.
Yeah. And I don't no I don't want to do the name calling like with the snowflake thing, but I'm just making the observation. All this guy did was say, you know what, you changed my mind on something,
or at least and made him stop and pause a little bit.
And even posting that will get you hatred on the internet. So I don't know why she was surprised that she got hate. I don't mean to bring up the last issue again, but this is what happens on the internet. People talk shit. Right. They're insecure about themselves and they're anonymous more or less on the internet. And that's what they like to do. If we ever do get one of those guys on, I'm going to need you to,
I'm working on a guy.
The gimp, and I'm in there like swimwear.
Well, I'm working on a guy right now. I'm working on a guy right now, not from this thread. I'm working on a guy right now that might be able to come on the 20th. So I'll get you know what? Honestly, I'll let it can be me and 5 conservatives. I don't give a fuck because you have no fucking platform.
Whoa, we're doing a political gangbang here? What's going on?
I'm just saying there's no platform. They have no fact. Right? There's no.
They've got their facts.
Get ready for this.
And that's all that matters. What about
Obama? See,
what about Chicago?
I've told you guys this before, and Isla, I guarantee you've seen this on your podcast. When I don't know if you've talked to conservatives on your show. Have you had conservatives on?
We've had more independents. We haven't had any conservatives yet.
Wait. Real independents or independents in name only?
I would say real independence.
Okay.
I didn't know. Is there a term for that one?
I would hope so, because guess what? There's a lot of people who
dinos, rhinos, and I know.
They'll say I'm an independent, but then they'll rattle off about 12 or 13 Trump conspiracy theory supporting things in a row. So that's
because they want to put the idea out there that independence, like Candace Owens says, she's a Democrat.
Fuck out of here! Like, when did she say that shit?
Nah. Oh, she said it many times.
Did the sword of the Lord come down and chop her in half?
Of course not, because the Lord is on their side.
Fuck out of here,
Cole. How much did you hear of that? Did you say? I don't know. What'd you miss?
No, I heard all of that.
Okay, so your thoughts there, young fella.
You asked how many likes. I would think it would tend toward the 0 variety.
Yeah, 0 people saying yes, I'd like to come on your show. Right. So I am working on, like I said, one guy. We'll see if we can get the guy on. I am more than happy to have a conservative come on this show. What they're going to do is, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've said this before, it's the 4 Ds: deny, discredit, deflect, and defame. What does that mean? Deny the fact is true. No, that's not true. It's fake news. Discredit. Well, the source is bad. That's MSN, so you can't trust that. Deflect. What about Hillary? What about Obama? What about fucking Alicia or what's her face from Who's the Boss? Alyssa Milano. I couldn't remember her name. What about this person? What about Joe Biden? Fucking kids in the ass. Well, that sort of thing.
Meanwhile, Trump's got a case for that.
Well, Trump literally is on camera going up an elevator while an 11-year-old girl goes up the other side of the elevator, and he goes, "How old is she?" And then they said how old she is, and you can't hear it. It's not audible, but someone found out later she was 11 or 12. He goes, "In 10 years, I'll be dating her." I mean, who says that? But the final D is defame. Mm-hmm. They start calling you names. Oh, you're just a fucking libtard.
You're a libtard.
You're a cuck. I will add one more D to that. If they are in power, this D would apply. Destroy. Meaning destroy your life, destroy your character, destroy your existence.
Callie again with another. I'm loving this. She's a part of the show. I just watched Candace Owens, and she called herself a conservative Republican. Please note, I listened to her podcast as she was speaking with Dr. Lamont. When she testified in front of, I don't know. Our producer will get on that. When she testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And yes, she is definitely a conservative, but when she testified in front of Congress or whatever it was, about 6-8 months ago, she said, "Liberals like myself." Okay.
Yeah.
And we know that she used to be a liberal blogger who was an Obama fan and hated Trump, and she actually did a investigation into his penis size while he was running for president. And by the way, found the findings were that it was small.
Shocker.
Yeah. So she changed in like a day, and then decided one day, oh, you know what? I'm going to be not only pro-Trump, but I'm going to switch my allegiances on abortion, on immigration, everything. Well, that's the thing is you can't, if you're a conservative, you can't go against any of the 5 or 6 talking points that they have. You have to be in line with every single one of them and defend every single one of them. I don't even see how they justify guns in the Bible. Like, I don't even see how they justify Trump's rhetoric with him ripping on people and not being humble. Like, humble is like Haas or Cole. You're a big Christian. Tell us about humility in the Bible.
Well, I mean, humility. That's what Jesus was about, really, and and basically his walk taught us that's how we're supposed to walk on this earth. We're supposed to walk with humility. But with Trump, this is what the evangelicals saw. They saw a guy who sold them the bill of goods of, oh, so you actually want to big us up, and you want to actually say that we have a platform. Okay, well then we'll get behind you no matter what dirty, treacherous stuff you do. And it's gotten to the point where you have 2 or 3 preachers actually have a big platform.
When 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, we worship Trump.
I mean, just look at Paula White. I mean, her platform was almost out of here before 2016, but once she became special counsel to Trump, she's now the most powerful voice in Christianity now. And it's just ridiculous how that is. And it's as if you have these shepherds who sell their souls because they want the political clout. And yes, that is frowned upon, ladies and gentlemen, in the Bible too.
Oh God. Okay.
She was talking. She was talking about Mark Lamont Hill.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Michael. No? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Mark Lamont Hill. Yeah. Mark Lamont Hill. I know he is.
So maybe she's just admitting it now, but I can assure you that there's clips online where she calls herself a liberal. There is a 100% chance of the accuracy of that. However, closing thought we'll give to Isla here. Just like to hear you talk. So what are your
whoa. Yeah, calm down, Dutch.
Put your credit card away.
You want to talk about the Bible or?
Oh no! I'll let you close off this topic before we go into the humidor here.
I actually am totally lost on which topic we're on at this point.
We are very tangentially inclined.
We were speaking about Candace Owens, but you can put it either. Do me a favor, either do that or put a bow on the Rittenhouse thing, because I'm not sure you got a chance to really get into your thoughts there with the defense fund, because that was what we were talking about. But of course, we're totally off script right now.
Well, and I'm cool with that. No. I just want to make sure I answer the question.
You know, I'm totally off script right now.
Damn it.
Well, yeah, I mean, on Rittenhouse and the defense fund, honestly, I am ashamed of our country, but it's a daily experience. And my only hope is that somehow, honestly, the regular atrocities that are occurring will be enough to push some people over. And I will tell you, so I come from a pretty conservative background. And one of the things that has been really amazing.
Cut the mic.
What? Did I do something?
No.
We're here.
Oh, no, sorry.
Right. It's a trap.
He's infiltrated us at the base level.
Yeah.
I've transformed over the years. But one of the things that occurred for me about a month ago is a really close friend of mine that I went to Christian college with called me up. And he was like, so, I don't know where to ask this question, but you're always talking about things like reparations. And can you explain that to me? And he was genuinely interested. And he's a 40-year-old, still very faithful Christian. Most of my closer friends from back then didn't vote for Trump, even though they've been lifelong Republicans. And so it's been really interesting to have these conversations with them. And I do feel like we're getting some movement that I never saw before. I never would have expected him to call me up to ask that question. We had an hour and a half long conversation about the history of racism and the fact that it's really not 400 years ago. It's today, but even Jim Crow, all of these things that he wasn't aware of and had heard but didn't connect to before. And so it also gives me some hope. It's possible we're making some movement, and that's what I want to focus on. How can we keep moving forward?
That's very well said. It's that's interesting that you went to Christian college, because
which Christian college?
Yeah, which Christian college do you go to?
Well, okay. So some people might not call it Christian. Brigham Young University. I was raised.
Shit! Okay. They had the morals code and everything. I know some football players that got kicked off the team because of that.
Oh, really? I didn't think they ever. I mean, I thought there was a lot of democracy around the football team. I figured the football team got protected.
No, there's more than a few people that got kicked off the football team for indiscretions.
Jim McMahon almost got kicked off the football team at BYU a long time ago. But the funny thing is when you start when you deal with Christians, because I mean I go to church and stuff like that, and I have a men's group and stuff, and it's the cognitive dissonance that they're using right now is sort of astonishing to me, and it always flies back. Their trump card is abortion. That's it. I mean, that's the only thing that they can hang their hat on. And it's they have nothing else outside. They'll say, well, yeah, but guns, but this, but immigration, but that, and you can make an argument about 2A. I'm not anti 2A. You can make an argument about immigration. I'm not necessarily, one of these open borders guys. But then when it comes to it's just astonishing to me that when it comes to why do you support Trump when he supported Roy Moore, who likes to date 13-year-olds? And it goes back to, well, if we elect Joe Biden, then they're going to be giving out abortions at Walmart, right. And it's I think you can be pro-life and still be a pretty strong Democrat if you just look at it from a libertarian perspective of it's not my decision. Right. And I think someday hopefully, I pray this is true. In 10 years, we won't even have to worry about abortion anymore because we'll progress medically to a point where women will be able to decide when they want to have kids. So, but with that being said, we're going to get into everyone's favorite part of the podcast.
Light them up.
Welcome to the Humidor with Big Haas. Find out what Haas is puffin' and drinking today. If you try his suggestion and you die, that is natural selection, and the VFU podcast is not responsible for you being weak effing sauce. Now, the one, the only, Big Haas.
I'm not on drugs.
Big Hussein, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? On Voice from the Underground today, fine young man.
If you can see, I got my pinky up a little bit.
Oh
snap.
Okay.
Did you get stung by a bee?
No, I got stung in the lip.
I'm smoking drill infused cigar.
My big ass lips is a little bit bigger up top now because of this goddamn bee stung me.
Murder hornet.
Man, I've killed two murder hornets. No, I've killed 2 cicada killer hornets. They're orange and black or some shit. But anyway, I am smoking on the Padron Anniversary Series 1964.
I believe you've met my fitness consigliere.
But we're talking about cigars, Dutch. Anyway,
we'll work on it.
So this is a 95 rated cigar by Cigar Aficionado.
Damn.
Okay, that's fucking high. By the way, I'm smoking on
just as high as that guy who wouldn't come on the podcast because he was high tonight.
Right. He's a little high right now, but
conservatives are camera shy.
I've got the it's called a Superior Maduro. And it's actually like last week I was talking about, I believe on the show. I'll talk about cigars so much sometimes it melds together, but I was talking about if you want more of the true flavor of a cigar, even though the trend is for thicker ring gauge cigars, which are girthier. Pause. Awesome. You actually want to go with something like a Lancero, which is a little bit thinner ring gauge. And I'm actually smoking one of those today. I had a sampler package of these Padron 1964s that came in a bunch of different vitolas or sizes and shapes. And I'm
crack-a-lackin'.
I'm smoking the Superior Maduro, which is actually a Lancero.
Have you lost your damn mind?
And so I get the wrapper has a lot of the flavor in the cigar. So I'm getting like a really honest impression of this cigar from this Vitola. So the wrapper is a Maduro wrapper from
Nicaragua.
Yes, as well as the binder and the filler. So it is what is called class student number 1. What do we call
student number 1? Student number 1, where are you? This is
what do we call the cigar where the wrapper, the binder, and the filler all come from the same place?
That would be a Puro.
A Puro. That's correct. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
Student number 42.
There we go.
Right.
So
you are fake news.
This is a Nicaraguan Puro, a Lancero. So it's about 6.5 by 42 ring gauge. And I'm getting a little bit of coffee bean, a little bit of earth as I progress. You see, I'm about halfway through, about 3 inches in. Pause. Got about 3.5 inches left to take. Pause.
Can you explain to Isla what the pause is?
Anything even mildly sexual, we do a pause on. Okay.
Oh my God.
Especially if there is any LGBT vibes that could be picked up from it. We want to make sure we pause it.
We keep the anti-gayness very robust here.
Right. So I'm getting into the earthy part of the cigar. So it's a little, the profile has changed a little bit. It was a lot milder earlier, and now it's starting to get a little bit stronger. And this is a very full profile cigar, so you definitely want to have something to eat before you smoke it. And I was watching, we were having family movie night, so I was watching Remember the Titans with the kids. So we had a lot of popcorn and cookies and stuff like that. So I'm kind of got a good stomach right now to puff this cigar. I am getting a little bit of a buzz though. I don't know if that might be that or that might be the drink. So I made a mistake. I mixed my liquors. I mixed my clears and my darks. Because I didn't want to drink up all of the
you desegregated the liquor?
Yeah, I didn't want to drink up all of the tequila that Mikey got me. So I switched over.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I switched over. So I'm gonna give like a double pairing review right now as well. But to continue with the nuances I'm getting from the cigar, like I said, it's getting a little earthy. There is some nuttiness there. Pause.
You're gonna love my nuts.
Not sure which. Not sure pre-pause which nut it is. But I'm definitely getting a little bit of some nuttiness there.
You're gonna love my nuts.
It was the left one, probably.
I'm thinking like hazelnut or pecan or something like that. But also,
I know things.
That's correct.
Infiltrator.
Wow.
So I'm getting a perfect draw from this thing. That's what's great. I did another. Where is it at? I did another matchstick punch with it because I was kind of rushing down, so I did not bring my
tip.
I brought my V cutter, but then when I decided what I was going to smoke, it was way too thin of a ring gauge to try to do this type of V cutter on it because it's a deep V cut. So didn't want to do that, so I went with the matchstick punch. And as you can see, the burn is pretty even. There's a little bit of a breeze down here in the basement because the AC is kicking on and off. So it is a little bit wavy, but not really bad. So I know that if I was just down here and there was no breeze or anything, it would be a perfect burn. As you can see, the binder is a box press cigar. So it's a little bit flattened on certain ends and but rounded on the edges, but also you got a nice brown kind of chocolatey binder. Wrapper. So very
look at
very
my
appealing.
African American over here.
Oh my God. But this cigar was made, the 1964 was made to commemorate Padron's 30th anniversary in the cigar industry. And if you know Padron, you know that they're a very, very, very well-known brand, pretty expensive. I caught this cigar sampler pack on a really good deal, so that's why I picked it up. You can get a box of these for almost $300. So
yikes.
Yeah, and it's a box of 10.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? So as you can tell, it's pretty expensive. Padron's a pretty expensive brand. If I hadn't caught this deal, guess what? I probably wouldn't have a Padron in my humidor. I've got one more left. I got a 5. I got a sampler of 5 for about $65. So, and I've got it paired. I had it paired earlier with the Tremania and ginger ale, and I switched over to the Kraken and ginger because the Tremania tequila is pretty good. It brings out more of the earth and the coffee bean, whereas the cocoa and pre-pause nut is being brought out by what I'm drinking now, which is the Kraken rum and ginger. So the Kraken, the rum brings out more of the sweetness, the tequila and ginger brings out more of the bolder flavors. So both are good. I think that in the mood I'm in now, and a lot about cigars, what you experience, what you enjoy from the experience depends upon your mood as well. And the mood I'm in now, I kind of enjoyed the tequila mix a little bit more, where I was getting that robust flavor of the coffee bean and the earth. And I'm still enjoying the cigar, but I'm enjoying it a little bit less because of the sweetness that's coming out from the cocoa and hazelnut or one of those nuts. Pause. So it's like the ratings are kind of switching on me a little bit. If
it's like a Planters multi-pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good Lord.
So if I were giving a rating for the tequila and ginger paired with the cigar, I would give it maybe today, because I might be in a different mood tomorrow, but tonight's rating is about 4.4 for that. And then with the rum and the ginger ale, it's like a 4.175.
So a double rating there. So a little bit lower with the ginger ale.
A little bit lower with the ginger ale and rum. But that's
I've never had that before. Is that what is that something you drink a lot with ginger ale and rum?
Is it stormy weather or something?
Isn't
that a stormy weather, ginger ale and rum?
I don't know what they call it. I'm not that much of an alcoholic. So
okay. Sorry, I outed myself, guys.
We're working on it. he's working on it. He's trying to get to be a little bit more.
So but it's good. Even when I took the first inch or so naked. I didn't drink anything. And then I started drinking more of the tequila and ginger, and then switched over to the Kraken and ginger. So
dark and stormy is when you have dark rum and ginger ale.
That is exactly what I'm having right now. Then I'm having a dark and stormy. Beautiful.
Pretty tasty.
It is. It is. Not as tasty as the tequila today, but still, nonetheless. And I've had to touch it once. Like when we first started Humidor, you saw me lighting it. And I've been kind of talking, and it kind of went out again on me. So I would have to touch it again.
Touch it again. Like, are you creepy Joe Biden?
Yeah. Let me smell it.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Let me creep up behind it and smell it.
Callie, very nice. Nicely done. Callie says again, are you thinking a dark and stormy? That might be what that is. Our producer will look that up.
That's what I'm drinking right now. Is a dark and stormy.
Ari Ludsky, who's watching us on YouTube, and actually has been on this show before. Ari actually was on here the first time Shamasha came on and was debating Shamasha, which was interesting because, you had the Assyrian identity politics with Shamasha being on full board as usual, and Ari being a gentleman of Jewish descent, was able to, I think, pretty well handle him and some of his shenanigans that he liked to play with. But they had a really good conversation. It was probably 2 years ago. So Ari, hello. He says, how does Haas keep a straight face when Dutch fucks with him on the sound clips? Much respect for that, Haas. You do you. And then we have another comment here. I don't know if Mikey can pull that one up from Malcolm Scarcey.
Yep. The libertarian one, because he said he'd love to come on and do the whole debate thing. He's a libertarian. He's like, is that close enough to come on? I said probably.
Yeah. So yeah, we're fine with libertarian. Actually,
come on. Anybody can come on and discuss.
Anybody can get these hands. Anybody can catch these hands.
Yeah, he says, let me know ahead of time next time, and I'll hop in and chit chat on the other, at least different side. So yeah, absolutely. We're always you can even. We're going to get back to politics here as we wrap up here. We got two quick things to talk about as we leave the humidor. But before I do, I had one other sound clip I didn't bring up before because I thought it might be cigar friendly. Here it is. Is that at all relevant to
what the fuck, man?
That was Mortal Kombat.
You don't know what Toasty is? Come on, Big Haas. You ever played Mortal Kombat before?
Ay, caramba!
That does not compute, dude.
Oh,
well, it computes with.
If you got to look up some Rick Ross cigar music and get a couple of bites from there.
Well, we can have the producer work on that. So look at Cole shaking his. He's like, that's a great idea.
Oh.
So let's get to real quick before we go back to politics. Just real quick, briefly, I want to share my screen here again with you guys. Who saw it? Who didn't?
I have not
on the first 3 episodes.
Totally saw it. Watched the first 2 episodes twice.
Oh, wow.
Isla or Cole, are you in on The Boys at all?
I'm behind. I haven't started second season, but I love first season.
What are you doing here?
Spoiler. Yeah. So spoiler free, Mikey. Your quick thoughts. We're going to talk about this series. That the politics in this show is astonishing. Just the subtle ways that they build in politics. They did a lot the first season. Mikey, just your quick thoughts on the first 3 shows. Did you run anything through a whale?
See, look at you.
They have no idea what I'm talking about.
Exactly. I 100% like the direction they're going. They are taking something that they hit out of the park and they're building on it. And I like it. It's like season 1 kind of just felt like world building at this point. And now they have a lot more room to stretch their legs. And I think it's going to be a ride for the rest of the season. I'm stoked.
Absolutely. I think there's like a movie or something that they're doing as well.
Yeah,
so that's going to be. I was just blown away, but the first episode really didn't do a ton for me. The episode 2 and 3 though were both just I mean, action packed and great. So very much looking forward. Very much looking forward to the part with the Deep was just creepy. Yeah.
Did you catch whose voice that was?
You know what? The voice was familiar, but no, I didn't catch the voice. You can spoil that.
Patton Oswalt.
I don't even know who that is. Should I know who that is?
The little short, nerdy guy. He's a little overweight. He's a stand-up comedian. He's been in 1,000 different TV shows.
Funny dude.
One of the things I liked that they did, though, real quick, was they introduced parodies of a couple of Marvel superheroes, namely Daredevil and Hawkeye. Or I guess you could say that could have been Green Arrow too, but
same thing.
Yeah, so pretty much the same thing. Though I do like Oliver Queen better than Hawkeye for the most part. But Jeremy Renner does do a good job. Well, Jeremy Renner's in Avengers, not in The Boys. So get off your spoiler alert. But yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more about that as time progresses. So I want to play a quick video and then we'll wrap up the show here. This regarding Trump and his new accusation with the just thoughts about his military as we run into Labor Day, which really doesn't have a lot of military ties to Labor Day, but still for some reason we usually focus on the military during Labor Day, but that's fine. They deserve it. Here we go.
More now on that new report out of The Atlantic magazine claiming President Trump called America's fallen service members suckers and losers. The president denying that report vehemently. Top Pentagon officials are weighing in. National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin has more on that. Jennifer.
John, I've spoken with 2 senior U.S. officials who were on the trip to France who confirmed to me key details in the Atlantic article and the quotes attributed to the president. My source, a former Trump administration official, told me when the president spoke about the Vietnam War, he said it was a stupid war. Anyone who went was a sucker. The president would say about American veterans, what's in it for them? They don't make any money. The source said it was a character flaw of the president. He could not understand why someone would die for their country. Not worth it. Regarding the French trip to mark the end of World War I, according to this former official, the president was not in a good mood. French President Macron had said something that made him mad. He questioned why he had to go to 2 cemeteries. Why do I have to do 2? His staff explained he could cancel, but he was warned they, the press, are going to kill you for this. The president was mad as a hornet when they did, according to this source. All
right, so there you go. Donald Trump doesn't like the military. So first of all, I'm going to go with Isla here, and then Cole will go to our guests on this first. Though I was thinking it was kind of funny that for one of these military visits, when some of this happened, he picked up apparently John Voight, the actor.
Oh, Jesus.
And just like for some reason had John Voight greeting the bodies of deceased soldiers. Like for some reason he's there and John Voight's there. Now, Trump, by the way, has only been to 4 of these transfers. I think they call them dignified transfers. And why he brought John Voight was astonishing to me. But I thought to myself, maybe it was because he wanted to ask him if he also had any sexual fantasies about his super hot daughter, Angelina Jolie.
Stay off my woman, Dutch. Keep a respectful Dutch.
John, you know, Ivanka, and I just really, you feel it too, right, with Angelina?
Gross.
He needs some validation.
Exactly. So, Isla, your thoughts on Trump and the military?
Well, I mean, it's disgraceful and not surprising. I mean, he's been this way since he was attacking John McCain. I mean, even people in his own party. And once again, it goes back to that question. I don't understand. As a former conservative, one of the things I respect about the people in my family is they usually will stand up for what they believe, even when it's inconvenient. And I feel like that's the whole thing that I'm disappointed in right now is I don't feel like earlier today I was looking it up and there was not a single Republican who had stood up and said, hey, we need to stand for our troops. We need to have them treated with respect. Like, regardless of how you feel about the military in general or the wars we commit, you know, there's a lot of dubious stuff around that. At the same time, these are people who are saying, I'm going to take this risk. I'm going to make this dedication. We should respect them. And the Republican Party is the one that's like, yay, troops. It doesn't seem to me like they're standing by any of their values around it. Again, shocking.
Yeah, shocking. Cole, your thoughts, brother?
It just goes to show how strong the Republican Party feels about their stances because, you know, they can have their their leaders say something of this ilk and not even support the troops at a time of deflecting and defending because they already know arrogantly, well, the Republican Party, just like we are the party of the Christians, we are also the party of the troops. And we don't have to defend Jack because we know the devilish left won't.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. It's just you can have this guy say idiotic crap. Like what Trump did say 4 years ago about McCain, and this actually was said. And I mean, it was in a Christian conference when he said about Senator McCain, quote, he's a war hero because he was captured. I don't like people who were captured. Close quote. Now, they went on to elect this fool. So he can get away with saying that stuff, and Republicans don't even have to defend him because what do they have to do? They don't have to do jack. They can just let it all ride and just cross their fingers and hope it just gets swept under the rug and it gets forgotten about and go about their business. You know, so the bottom line is, what does Trump respect? What does he respect? Because it's not really the troops. It's not really the people who vote for him. It's not even the staff. And sometimes I even argue if it's even if his family. You know, and I've always said that with him, it's about those who kiss his butt, those who kiss his ring, or those who are celebrities. Anybody else, forget about it.
Hops or Mikey, you guys got anything to throw in on this?
Well, I got a comment. You know, and a lot of times I like to call out the right for their hypocrisy and projection. Okay, and one of the very popular conservative bashing points is that especially minorities vote for anybody Democratic, and what have the Democrats done for them, et cetera, et cetera. But Who are the real? And they like to call them liberals sheep. But who are the real sheep? You talk all this crap about the military. This guy has disparaged John McCain pre and post death.
Yeah.
Disparaged John McCain. He has disparaged John Kerry, another war vet, I think, who was a POW for a while. I'm not sure, but I know his plane was shot down. He has attacked Gold Star families. Yet,
well, and Bush 1, who
Yes.
also was shot down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and Gold Star families are families who, if you don't know, whose kids have died in the line of duty in war zones.
Well, the Muslim guy, he Khan was the guy's name.
Yeah.
He just couldn't wrap his head around the fact that a Muslim American could be a war hero.
And then, but he was talking about dude's mom.
Yep.
If she's allowed to say anything or whatever.
I don't think
This
they
guy-
let them talk. You know that.
Yeah. Now, in addition to that, he's diverted money from the military for his piece of shit wall. Money that was supposed to go to build schools and things on military bases because the schools are in such bad shape. They've got mold, they've got pests, they've got general decay. Money was supposed to go to those. And guess what? He took the money out of there and said, no, I need to build this wall. So
You are fake news.
who are the real sheep here? Who are the real sheep? Those who, whenever you point out these ironclad hypocrisies, go silent because they still want to support this man. You know, I think you guys are the real sheep, and those people are the real projectors because they're projecting their view of themselves that they can't acknowledge for themselves onto others. Oh, you guys are sheep. You'll just vote just because it's a liberal, just because it's a Democrat. But what are you doing? What are you doing? This dude is against all of your stated values. He's cheated on every wife he's had. He has disrespected women. He's been misogynistic. He is definitely not religious because the man can't even say
2 Corinthians.
second. He can't even. He doesn't even know enough to know that it's second Corinthians.
2 Corinthians.
You know,
Inconceivable. Potato, tomato. What can I
and
say?
then this mug, you know, we talk about, oh, you know, he's so smart and all this stuff, but this motherfucker can't say Yosemite. You know, you tell me how smart this guy is. He's so smart. He's brilliant. He's got a great brain. He's got, you know, and all this other shit. But he can't say Yosemite. Yosemites, for real. If you've watched cartoons, you know how to say Yosemite. All you got to do is watch cartoons. Yosemite Sam, motherfucker.
He only has the blackface episodes of Bugs Bunny.
But the thing is that
with the jungle people,
they love to project this sheep label onto non-conservatives because it's not just Democrats. Anybody who's not conservative is a sheep. But who's the real sheep? And then another one is, oh, you're a cuck. But aren't you the ones allowing yourselves to be humiliated by this man? Time and again, you have been humiliated by this man because you say these things and he actively is opposite of those things and he's doing it right in your face.
But
you
the
just
guy,
stand there and take it.
The guy who answered me on Twitter said it best. There's no such thing as a former Trump supporter. It is a life. It seems to be a lifestyle change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean,
we do have
it's
some
evident-
comments. Mikey, go ahead, Cole, and after Cole speaks, then Mikey will read the comments.
It's evidence by these pope parades that we're seeing. They will go down literally with the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, hold on.
The boat parade, yes.
It's funny you mentioned that because you've just pulled up the final joke of the day. Good job, Cole. You just
that was an alley-oop off the backboard.
That was right.
You didn't even know where I was going, Cole.
That
and
was
you
a
talked
Jason
about
Williams. That was a Gary Payton to Sean Kemp.
That was a DMX to Gangstar.
Whoa! That's not even. Whoa! Wait.
Wait, what's wrong with Gangstar?
You might have no. DMX and Gangstar. That's two. If you had said
two different
DMX,
eras, I got you. But I
DMX to Tech Nine or something like that, we might have been a little bit.
I wasn't a Tech Nine fan. Sorry.
Tech Nine's okay.
I love
like
how
his
when
facial hair.
I love how when Mikey takes a drink, his face disappears.
Yeah.
Swag. Swag.
Swank.
Mikey, we got some comments here. We got a few. Pick and choose which ones you want to go with.
There's a couple of good ones. My little quick thing is imagine if Kaepernick had said any of that. Anyway, back to the comments.
Woo!
Yep.
Would have been crazy. Let me just pick up this.
Bigsby taking his hood off all over again.
Let me pick this mic up that I just dropped on accident. If you're supporting leadership without continuing to question their actions, it's irresponsible patriotism that empowers fascism. And that's from Ari over on YouTube.
That's a banner.
Yep.
Word.
Ari, that's fire.
And Kelly says again, the wall they reported today is being built poorly and not going to last long.
Yep.
It's eroding
It's already
fast.
eroding. It's already eroding. And the company they contracted out to do it, the CEO of the company has, interestingly enough, sexual harassment and litigation or something like that against them or something like that.
Fake news.
Something sexual in nature that they were doing wrong with in a litany of building like all
What do
types
they work
of
for
building.
the Washington Redskins?
They've got all types of code violations and lawsuits against them. And because this dude was skin fluting them on Fox News incessantly on the lead up to building the wall and getting the contracts, this Trump gave him the contracts because he had the best knee pads.
I really like this guy. He's really good.
He's
at
really
talking
good.
to me.
He does the pepper grinder.
There's the name of the
Trump
podcast.
is like the pepper grinder is like that with Trump.
There's the name of the podcast. He does the pepper
He
grinder.
does the pepper grinder.
That's absolutely perfect.
Well, and because to what you had to say about Trump, like there's all of these things, right, that you can see that are lies, that are contradictions.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of the things that we have to really note is that he's a master manipulator.
But how do you manipulate when you lie on video?
That is his only skill, and he's really good at it. Like if you watch, he finds people to help him, like Roger Stone. If you've seen the Netflix documentary "Get Me Roger Stone," it's like they are soulless and unconscionable, and they are smart about how to manipulate people. And the problem is we're trying to be honest and put our heart out there and say, let's do the right thing. And they are speaking a different language on a different planet.
Is the money or promise of money that powerful? Or the promise of stature
so many
and
things.
status?
I sort of disagree. And the only reason I disagree is because I don't think that's his skill. I think America's really kind of that morally bankrupt. I think that's kind of where we're at. And they haven't had an opportunity to put someone so stupid and so high of an office. So we're all kind of gobsmacked like, yo, this is like really like y'all, this is really, really bad. Like the president is a very important position. I mean, most of it is figurehead stuff, but there's a lot of big decisions that go on out of that office. And they were just like, yeah. Politics is stupid anyway. It never does anything.
This is wrong, bitch.
Yeah, they don't understand the ramification of their decisions. And I think the stupid people just pick someone stupid like them. I don't think they're being manipulated.
I can understand what he's saying when he speaks.
Yeah.
I know what he's saying. It sounds like we're right down at the double wide together.
See, Mikey, I don't think they're morally bankrupt. I really believe America's stupid. I really believe America is that stupid.
Yeah.
They want to elect someone who is as stupid as they are.
So they can relate.
They can relate to the person who is in office. Yeah, he's just like
because if you remember,
let me read this comment real quick.
Okay.
And I'll let you guys get back. Sandy SA and some numbers says they're really good people. I think that's sarcasm. He manipulates and gets away with it. So, and then Callie says again, that's how cult leaders get people to do shit like drinking Kool-Aid with poison and allowing their wives to sleep with them. So
but I mean, remember, this was all set up as well because remember, one of the biggest complaints during the 8 years of Obama's tenure was they felt like he talked down to them, like he was too intellectual. So they go and get someone with the IQ of a 6th grader, or the vocabulary at least of a 6th grader.
Ari had a really good comment here. He says, if you are supporting leadership without continuing to question their actions, it's irresponsible patriotism that empowers fascism. Yeah, I thought you might have read that one.
Mikey read that.
But that one.
Thanks a lot, though, for the redux.
Well, it falls perfectly into what we're talking about though now, because these people call themselves patriots. They self-proclaim patriots.
Right.
And, you know.
But what is the backbone of patriotism when you think about it? When you look at the New England Patriots logo, what is it? It's a soldier that was fighting the rebellion.
It's Colossus from X-Men.
Yeah, exactly where I go with it. It's funny that we see a lot of Americans have issue with people who protest, yet the foundation of this country started with a protest.
You call yourself a patriot, but who were the patriots? Goddamn bug. The Patriots were the ones fighting the revolution.
Yeah.
You know, who was throwing don't destroy property. I can't condone any violence.
Don't throw all that tea into the ocean.
But that's the thing, is like that's another thing. Is like, oh, these guys, these people who hate the protests and hate the riots and looting and stuff. Number one, what has your apathy contributed to that? But number two, one of your main things is I can't condone the violence, but you guys are silent or defending Kyle Rittenhouse, who committed acts of violence.
Not just can't condone it, won't speak on it at all.
Yeah, because if he hadn't shot that dude in the head, they wouldn't have been chasing him in the first place.
Yeah,
you know, if he hadn't committed that act of violence, he wouldn't have been being chased by anybody.
Yeah, and the video on him, just so you know, the very first video clip is of this guy who beat up a girl a week before, by the way, is of him shooting from behind a truck to a guy 20 feet away and killing the first person.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like,
it wasn't like he wasn't in imminent danger or anything like that. He shot the dude in the back of the head.
Sandy says again, she says, this is astonishing. My elderly aunt, 96 years old, voted for Trump because she said USA is not ready for a woman. She's a Democrat who's voting Republican. This was who voted Republican. I think she's talking about Hillary. Well, Hillary's not running this time.
Nope.
So just quick thoughts on the we'll get the quick thoughts on the boat sinking from our two guests, and then we'll wrap up for the night here. Cole, go ahead and go first.
You know, leave it to my own home state to actually hold a boat parade where it goes to sink. The funny thing is, Lake Travis is very hard to actually at times sail. So you get choppy waters in Lake Travis. And when I saw that, all I could do was just laugh. So I'm like, it just goes to show. People don't prepare politically for who they want to vote for, and you have these people who can't prepare for when they actually sail on boats. When they're like, "Oh, the water's not that choppy. I can still sail," and just go and just sail on water that's too treacherous for them.
Another thing is that a lot of these boats are sinking because these are these little small boats, and they've got these huge boats out there. And they're not obeying the wake rules or anything. So,
and then they weigh the boat down with a whole lot of stuff too. To boot.
Isla, before you go, as a girl who grew up,
a woman,
evangelical, as a girl, when she was growing up, she was a girl, not a woman. My God,
treading on thin ice here, man.
Go tweet at Elizabeth Olsen for Christ's sake.
The comments of not the representation of Bush.
I'll work on that. I'll work on that drop too.
Crack-a-lackin'.
Put that on my list.
As a young lady growing up in the church, I'm sure you recall 2006 or 2005, Hurricane Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
That was the God's payback for the sins of New Orleans. I can't help but think about this when I see these boats sink.
Well, I mean, that's not obviously what they're going to say about this. I'm wondering where the GoFundMe is, and for like
they need money.
Yeah, build the wall. We the people will build the wall. We the people will let out Kyle Rittenhouse, and we the people will rebuild the boat.
Right.
Yeah, it's coming.
but it's just it's another sign. Like, I mean, once again, this is where the manipulation doesn't work, although they're trying, right? Like, oh, terrorists. When you don't obey the rules of sailing, you have a boat issue. Like, there are times when you can't spin it. They're on the floor of the lake.
Right.
So
if you just obey the law, the nautical law, you might be.
If you just kind of like the wake, like you said, like I was reading about the wake rules and stuff. I mean, I don't know anything about boating, but of course, you like what's happening here, and it seems like okay, it's like the rules of the road. If you decide to drive to the wrong side, you're going to hit someone. Yeah. Nobody's going to be like, "Ooh, that's a shock."
Yeah, I mean, my family, my in-laws, we have a cabin up in Upper Peninsula, Michigan. We have a boat and we take the boat out. And my father-in-law is always, bitching about those people who are violating the wake rules and things like that. He's like, they're not supposed to be this close. They're not, boats. That's how boats sink and da 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 da.
Real man of genius.
Coming in
Here's
hot.
to you, Mr. Wake Rule Violator. You're too damn close.
Save the Trump flag.
Why are you going so fast?
I don't know. I can't zoom in on this as much as I would like to, but just this lady. Can you guys get a load of this lady's?
I thought that was a superimposed picture. I thought it was a superimposed picture of Trump's face when he was mocking that handicapped dude. That's what I thought that looked like.
It's too over pixelated. And first of all, I'm glad no one died. Okay.
Yes. We don't wish death upon anyone.
No, so stop. Yes. And where's the social distancing? Thank you, Sandy. They couldn't even keep their boats far enough apart from people. It's just, but the look on this lady's face is like, I can't tell if she's screaming MAGA or screaming for her life. Trump, save me!
It's like, oh my God,
me.
Please, orange haired, reach your small hand down and
how far can I get out of your mouth? It's so
like
pixelated. That's just too bad.
Like that doesn't even look like the right style of boat to have and water that choppy.
Exactly.
Like you can't deal with a 2-foot wave in that boat. So that's more than 2-foot waves. Like you're fucked. Like there is no
they don't care because
America.
And it was calm. It was calm weather too. So
America's gonna save them.
Hey, you have the right to do whatever the fuck you want. You want to go on a boat and
but you got to deal with the consequences.
That's right.
You have to deal with the consequences.
If it had been liberals, imagine if it was Biden supporters or
the
Obama
Biden
supporters.
boat parade.
Yeah.
Biden boat parade
or BLM. God forbid.
Oh yeah. And
we're not gonna be out on the water.
I'll save that for the closing. I'll save that for the closing.
All right. So as we close out here, Cole first, what you got going on over at Cole Sports Revelations? Tell the people how they can find your show. Give us all the good stuff, my friend, because I know there's a lot going on with sports right now, and you've had some opinions on that stuff.
Yeah, I'll do Revelations first. You can find that on Acast. That's ACAST. You can find that, type Revelations, and you'll find that show. I'm going to have new interviews up and do panels. Hopefully, I will rope these 3 gentlemen in, and hopefully, Alicia as well. Just rope everyone in. We can actually have a dialogue because I want to also do more panels on the show. You can also catch me at getovervoice.org or on Spreaker, and you can type Get Over Voice. You can get that as well. And I'm also starting a YouTube. Well, I'm relaunching a YouTube channel on Cole Sports, and I do daily bits called On the Daily, and you can catch that Monday through Friday. 12:45 p.m. Eastern, 9:45 a.m. where Dutch days, and also you can also catch me at Cole Sports with the Z.com. You can see the website right there.
Yes, and
if you want to see him act, you can always find him on Hot Tub Time Machine.
Exactly.
I won't get paid like the actor who actually was in Hot Tub Time Machine.
If only. Isolate, your turn.
Hi. Well, I'm on, so the podcast that I do is called Bicurian, BICUREAN, and we're on social media and most podcasting platforms just under Bicurian. We also do a blog on Medium, and we have a campaign this year called Be the Change. Most weeks, it was every week, then I got a little distracted. Most weeks I release a suggestion for something that you can try to take on to be the change you want to see in the world. whether it's trying to listen or notice where you get triggered or something else. And so sometimes we talk about it on Twitter. Hopefully, if we all do a little bit, we can make those incremental changes that will make a difference. So I hope you come find us and join us on Twitter or social media or Medium or listen to our podcast.
What's the Twitter handle?
At Bicurean, Bicurean. Yeah. I'm also on there just as me, but usually you'll find them together. And I have a co-host who does all the audio, Eric Cosner, and on the show. And so we usually talk to each other, talk to guests.
Gave out his government name like it was nobody's business like that.
Yeah,
Like
there you go.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry about that.
Put him out there.
Forgive me.
Here comes the social justice warriors from
Yeah.
the right.
Yeah, well,
Right.
he can take it. He's
pause.
way better.
Big pause.
Oh, God.
Alrighty. And then, Mikey, anything going on with you guys at the bin?
The Ben, I was supposed to stream tonight, but I forgot. I took a nap after watching The Boys for the 40th time. But we will be back Thursdays. It's a good show. Thursdays, 2 p.m. Central. We do our normal panel of world events with 2 people in Chicago, 1 person in California, 1 person in the UK, 1 person in Sweden. And we talk
an
about
international player from the Himalayas.
Yes. So yeah, that's all we got going on.
He's calling from the wall at the, what do they call it, the Great Wall in Game of Thrones. I lost the joke there, but
yeah.
Warrior fault.
Hey, I'm Mr. T. I'll rip your cock off with my ass.
I can't remember what they called the wall that Jon Snow was serving on anymore. It's too far away in the past.
It was called The Wall.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, build the wall. Build the wall.
No, them damn zombie dragons took care of that shit.
All right, so we our obligation to our friends over at Big Heads Media as we head out here for the day, and then we'll get Haz's final thought for the day as well. Let's get the Big Heads Media up there. There you go, bigheadsmedia.com. Winning season returns at MyBookie. Winning season means doubling your first deposit. Winning season means Survivor, Super Contests, and Squares at MyBookie. It's time to celebrate the NFL season. Sign up now and make your first deposit to get a $1 for $1 match all the way up to $1,000 and grab yourself a free entry into the famed MyBookie Super Contest. To play in the contest, all you have to do is pick 5 NFL games against the spread to have a chance to win $100,000 guaranteed in cash prizes. The best part is MyBookie has thousands of bets to choose from, the full NFL slate and the NBA playoffs. From live betting to championship futures, every play you want to make is waiting at MyBookie. It's simple. Make your picks, win big, collect yo cash. Use promo code BIGHEADS and double your first deposit now.
Double your dollar.
It's a no fucking brainer. Your winning season begins today only at MyBookie.
Get them dividends.
And I'll have to get the Matt Delhauer tidbit up where he goes, MyBookie, place your bets today, that he gave us last time they sponsored this show. So listeners, thank you very much for tuning in. Big Haas, you can close us out. And Cole, thank you, sir. We appreciate it. I know your volume's a little low today, so you probably got talked over a little bit. I apologize. And Isla, hey, you know what? It was great meeting you. We're looking forward to, some nice collaboration, because we're the only 2 political podcasts now that Delvin's gone from Big Heads, but we still love Delvin, though. He's a mutual friend of ours as well. And we will see you. Hopefully, I'm here if you need me.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
Oh, again. See, what is with this guy? Everything has to be sexual with him. I am married. I'm a married fucking man.
Calm
Jesus
down,
Christ.
Dutch.
Get the pepper grinder ready. Get the pepper grinder.
You're all over her. You're all over her, Dutch.
I'm just. We don't have women on the show very much. I'm just being nice.
Hey, if you need anything,
I know.
If you need anything, you know where to find me.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk to HR as soon as
That's right. You got to report this man.
Well, Mikey
you
is
talk
HR.
to Cecilia down in HR.
Yeah. Stop smelling her hair, Dutch. Jesus.
God bless her.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. All right. Big Hussein, take us home and let us know what your thoughts are, my friend.
This is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Yikes.
Well, hey, you know what? Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for live commenting. Something that I've been thinking about the last couple days was just, practicing what you preach. We got people who say, hey, don't judge all cops by the few bad cops. But they're quick to judge all of Black Lives Matter, the movement and the statement and the organization by the acts of a few. Dutch posted something on social media earlier showing that 93% of the protests that are going on across this nation are peaceful. And unfortunately, due to the media and due to those people who are non-racist or a-racist or whatever, promoting them and promoting them.
Racist.
Yes. All we hear about are the protests that go left. And all we hear about are those. And those are used as excuses to dismiss the roots, or addressing the roots, either whether it be having the conversation or just standing with. I can't tell you how many people that I know will tell you up and down how they're not racist, but they will stand by and tacitly support or actively defend the systems that allow for the injustices that we're protesting, that people are protesting. And it's just practice what you preach. You say, I don't condone violence, but you defend Kyle. You say, we love the military, but we don't take Trump to task for the myriad of things he's done that are disrespectful to the military. The cherry on that cake being, we got Russia putting bounties on American soldiers. And he said nothing. He's done nothing. He acts like, oh, it's false. And we know that he got briefed. It was in at least one written brief about this. So, which is it? Does he not read the briefs? Or is he scared to say something to Putin? Practice what you preach. You love the military, you support the troops. At the very least, you guys should be up his ass about what is he doing to, number one, talk to Putin about it, and number two, put a stop to it. If you are I've seen all of this save the children from the right wing in order to deflect and divert from the social issues that are being protested about. If you're really about that, then why did you elect this dude that had 25? Why did you vote for a guy who has 25 sexual assault allegations against him, and some of those being from underage women? You want transparency, you want honesty, and you talk about how honest this man is, then why are you not taking him to task for fighting tooth and nail to keep his financial records secret? Why are you fighting? If he has nothing to hide, why didn't you take him to task for blocking people from testifying? Blocking, trying to keep people from putting out books, blocking all types of stuff. But he has nothing to hide. If he has nothing to hide, if he's so innocent, why is he in court all the time trying to block information about him from coming out? Practice what you preach. You say you're the party of family values. You say you're the party that respects the military. You say you're the party of patriotism. You wrap yourselves in the flag every chance you get. But what was this country built on? Stop being hypocritical. And in the end, we all got to respect each other. And if you really respect each other, then you would be standing up and saying what's happening in this country socially is wrong. And if all lives truly matter, you'd be right out there with everybody else, because wrong is wrong.
And with that, Isla, thank you very much.
Thanks
We
for having me.
appreciate it.
It was great
Cole,
to be here.
Hey, it was great to have you. We definitely want you back. Cole, hey, we love you, brother. Thank you for always being there for us.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week on Voice from the Underground.